Welcome to Journey as Zero Zeros. So today, together with us here is Nafisa. Nafisa is born in Indonesia in year 2001. She studies psychology and cognitive neuroscience in University of Nottingham, and currently she is living in Germany and she works in DHL as part of the strategy team in global e-commerce. And of course, she's an avid traveled to many places, a lot more than me, and she considers herself a world citizen. So yes, Nafisa, did I miss out on anything that you would like to add on yourself?
I think that's yeah, mainly about me. Hey everyone, Nafisa. Thank you, Andrew, for inviting me to this podcast. I'm really excited for this journey as zero zeros. Yeah, cool stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. It's actually my honor to have you here because like you really have a lot of interesting stories that I would love to hear from you. Yes, but
Thank
I
you.
think when people look at your background, the most interesting thing, like I I think we lost touch for quite some time after university until I realized that wait, you are in Germany. I was like, oh my god, I'm in the UK. Like we're so close and all that. So yeah, how does it feel like when you move abroad and basically like start a new chapter of your life there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, um, like in my case, like I wanted to move abroad for like the longest time. Like that's also what brought me to Malaysia, and then that's why we met in university and stuff. But yeah, in my mind, I definitely wanted to experience like a new culture, and that was all like inspired by my dad's story. I grew up like hearing stories of his exchange here in the US. So, like it's always, that's everything. That's what I hear every day, like all the fun times he had and whatever. And I just kind of like it became my childhood dream to live abroad. So when I first moved, I was actually like so excited, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like start a new life and finally move abroad. Cause yeah, I've had some like failed attempts in the past. Like I wanted to do the
Mm.
same US exchange. That was the first thing, and I regretted that so much because I missed the deadline. That's what happened. And then the second thing, I went to Nottingham for this reason actually, because I wanted to do the exchange year abroad in the UK. But guess what? COVID happened. So so there I was stuck at home, and yeah, and then this was like kind of, you could say, like my third attempt then. And yeah, it was a long visa hassle, but just when
How
I
long
thought
was
it
it?
was like like around the same time it takes for a woman to yeah, 9 months.
Serious? Oh my god,
When
that
you're
that
trying,
I was thinking like maybe 6 months. I was like, I had never expected that it would be longer than that. Like, wow, that's
yeah,
quite
like
scary.
when I when I came to the office, my manager's colleague jokes that it's like she's waiting for a baby. It takes around the same time for me to be part of the team, so it's really funny in that sense. But yeah, so just when I thought it wasn't gonna happen, miracle happened. Alhamdulillah, it went well. So I made it. I got here, and I was so excited, right? The story of me being here after 1 and a couple of months, though, is a different story because I'm starting to realize it's not as flawless as I think it is. And yeah, I think we can, we'll get a little bit more into that later.
Interesting. Okay. Wow, I see. But like, yeah, I think let's just go directly into that. Like, it was that when like during starting your new life there, because I like many experiences I hear from people moving abroad is at least from my group of friends is usually for studying, which is a lot more chill and all that because it's less serious, and then schools are prepared to welcome international students, but companies I think are slightly different, like you're expected to come and work and help the company, earn more money and all that. So how does that feel like?
Yeah, that's definitely a different thing. If I can, like, go back to, if I could change my expectations before coming here, that's exactly what I would do. That, like, I would expect differently in terms of my experience coming here as a working adult, right? I started internship, it was a 9 to 5 internship. It's basically, it's so different than being a student, right? What
Okay.
I expected was like, oh, it's just gonna be like university. I'm gonna come here. It's gonna be easy to make friends. Oh gosh, oof, that was honestly the hardest struggle that I experienced coming in here. I think it took me like 3 months to like really find my friends and get like because I'm an extrovert. I'm like during uni at least I know a couple of my friends call me like the social butterfly. I go into the cafeteria and then I say hi to like 10 tables. But but yeah, so coming here was so difficult because I knew no one, right? And having a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday just limits the opportunity and not having that kind of community like cuz in uni it's so easy. You join like clubs and then like you meet people, it's so easy, but coming here and especially as a foreigner you don't know like and in my case I didn't know anyone. There was no previous interns. They hire a lot of interns, right? But there were
Okay.
no previous Indonesian interns, which is also why I struggled with the visa thing because I had no one to ask. But yeah, so that was hard. If I could change my expectation, it would be that like you gotta. It's harder to find a community. You need to put in a little bit more effort when you're like a working adult. When you're young, you wanna like meet people and stuff. But yeah, definitely, it's you have to find a time after those working hours for you to like build a community. And that's kind of the reason
Mm,
why like after my internship I wanted to stay in Bonn. I wanted to stay where I'm living right now. Because if I move cities, it's gonna be another hassle to find, the community, the friends that I know. So yeah.
I see. All right. Okay. Like you said,
Although,
it took what
mhm,
to continue? Yeah.
yeah, no, although like given my travels now, I do have a couple of contacts here and there across Europe. So, but yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. It. You said it took you 3 months. Is it to find your first like true friend and all that?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's also the thing, right? I think adult friendships are definitely harder to maintain because almost like yeah, like even us, like we lost touch. We only got in touch like recently again, right? So yeah, like you need to put in more effort. You almost the thing that makes it difficult is that you almost don't have this, like some sort of like you don't regularly see them, like you don't have this like yeah, time and place where you just accidentally see each other. You have to be conscious about it. And that takes energy and effort for both sides, right? That's what I think makes adult friendships difficult. And that's why, like, there's no, like, even now, I think I'm still also trying to find my two friends and all that, right? So, like, it's an ongoing process. But I think I would say that, yeah, it took me, like, probably like 3 months to feel like, okay, I've kind of built a community. I found my people, like I know, yeah, like I know enough friends for me to feel comfortable and yeah, say that I have friends,
I
basically.
see. Okay, okay. How did you meet new friends there, wondering? And then cause like from what I heard, as if we're talking about, like local Germans, they seem to be a lot harder to like connect with them. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah, there's the whole kind of like what is it called? Like stereotype that Germans are cold and not so friendly. That is unfortunately true. I have to say, as a foreigner living in Germany, as an expat living here, like that is true. It's definitely not like if you compare it to the UK anyway. I've talked to a couple of colleagues saying the same thing. Like people in the UK are much more warmer and friendlier. So yeah, but it doesn't. It's stereotype. Yeah, I've met my fair of Germans that are really nice and very friendly and helpful, and yeah, like I think in the beginning, what really helped me was the so I got to know, like, this is pure coincidence, yeah. I was in this like Europe day. I didn't even know how I got to know about that. But yeah,
Europe
anyway,
Day?
yeah, they have a day where it's so interesting, but in the city center, they have Europe Day and then they have a stage, they have multiple booths from different sort of organizations. And I was there. Um, yeah, and then I saw this one stall, like booth, and they had like Erasmus written over it. And okay, I have a story, but I think we can save it for off the record. But
Okay.
went into this booth and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was curious what they're doing because they look like they were my age, you know? And then apparently they have this thing called Erasmus Student Network, which is like, like they're the people there were the organizers. They organize these events for just international people, generally for Erasmus students who are doing an exchange in Bonn, but it was also open to just anyone. So I was like, oh, so I can also go. And that's basically how I started making friends. It was like, coming to summer, they had this like weekly meetup thingy. They call it Stammtisch, like regular tables, so they usually meet up at the bar, but yeah, then like it was in the picnic, like in a Hofgarten, so it's outside during the summer, so I just go there like a lot, and that's how I met like my first few friends here in Bonn actually. And yeah, I think just kind of grew that, and also the intern community, like in the office they have this every 2 weeks we have like an intern's lunch, so that's also how I got to know people my age from the office. So yeah, which helps a lot. So I think if I think now, and sometimes just like sheer coincidence also, like I think one of my first friends here, I met her because she was also new to Germany, and then we were trying to get home and our bus was oh, it was a tram actually, but then they switched it to a bus because of some road closure or whatever, and we were both lost, and she just approached me like to ask some things, and then we just started talking, and then we went to the meetup in the ESN thing together, and yeah, that's how the friendship started. And yeah, so if I think back, like I think my closest friends now, I met them either through Isaac or sheer coincidence or through yeah Erasmus, yeah, the Erasmus Student Network ESN. So
I see, I see. Yeah, funny thing, because like I'm moving to London, so obviously making friends is definitely okay. London is a bigger city, so I think like
yeah,
talking about like
yeah,
meeting people, it's easier there compared to Bonn. But definitely, I would still love to like find communities where I can like meet people and all that. And yeah, I was asking my friends and all that, and same thing came out. I think student networks are very
yeah,
useful. Yeah, student networks are very useful. My friend, what he did was that he went and searched like in UK we have like so many university. Every cities have their own university, and then like within the university they have like all these cultural groups and all that. So you just like join it on Instagram and all that, and see when's the next event, and yeah, just head there for the picnic or whatever, and that's how you're able to just meet people.
absolutely, absolutely, right? It's yeah, yeah, it's so cool. It's the best way, honestly. Just like go to those events. Like most likely, I was a bit hesitant as well because I couldn't get any of my like intern friends at the time to join me, but I took a
Oh, it
chance. I just went anyway. I'm like, let's see. Coincidentally, that day where it was like my first time going to the picnic event from the student network, I was walking from the office back to the tram, and then I met a colleague that I just got to know. And he said, "Oh, you're going to an Erasmus thing? Like, they're so nice." And apparently, he had experiences as well when he was like younger. He did an Erasmus exchange, and he also joined those events. And he's like, "Oh, they're so nice." So it was kind of like the sign that I needed,
I
to
see, I
just
see.
like freaking do it and go there. And yeah, it turned out to be. I met some really great friends there. So yeah,
That's
had some really
amazing.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to my experiences as well. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
in, I like, I'm desperate to know people. Like, even now, before I move down, I'm like asking people, like, do you know anyone in London? I like love to connect with them. Love to when I'm heading there. It's a huge place. I love to know someone. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Oh.
So yeah, let me know how that goes. I'm excited for you. London,
Yes,
London's so
I
pretty.
look forward. Perhaps it could be a separate podcast episode for me myself. Just to share that whole experience and all that.
Yeah, yeah, dude, honestly.
Yeah, but yes, like I think yeah, moving abroad, like I don't know, like almost 10,000 kilometers away from home is not easy. Like not just like starting a life there, meeting friends and all that, but also family. How does your family actually feel about you moving initially, and how do you manage being so far away from them?
It's a good question. When you mentioned 10K, I didn't realize I was that far. So I like quickly
Yeah.
Googled. It is, it's 11,000 kilometers. I'm like, wait, what? What the freak? It's
Do
insane.
you, do you, do you know why I know this?
Why? This is what?
So
What? Oh,
no, 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 it doesn't. No,
how
no.
did you?
I know it because when I was still in a relationship, and then that time I was on a long distance relationship, I made, all those Instagram posts, yeah, like all that, and then I was like, yeah, I researched it before I wrote the caption and all that, yeah, that's what I wrote. That's why I remembered it until today. I was like, yeah, it is that far. Yeah, it's always all these cheesy things that made you learn all this like unexpected information.
Cute. But yeah, going back to your question, yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have very supportive parents. Think they kind of they knew since yeah like basically since I was in high school or even before that I wanted to go far, wanted to spread my wings and see the world. We're like I'm also lucky that they like to travel, so we like to travel together. I'm always usually with them, so they know my love for traveling, seeing other cultures, exploring new things and all that. And I think, I mean, if you think about it, right now it dawned on me like just recently, but like why I'm here is also because of them, right? Like one, my dad's like exchange story. And then my mom actually during her study, like after she finished her bachelor, she wanted to go so bad to the US for studies. She didn't get to. Her parents were kind of strict. But her sister, her younger sister, and there was just two of them, her younger sister did get go to the US for her master's. So, like my mom always kind of feels like, oh, like so when I wanted to go abroad and I got this opportunity, she was like, yeah, let's make it happen because she wished she would have, because she had that experience and she wished she would have been able to do that. So when this opportunity came along for me, she said to herself, "Okay, I'm gonna let her do that. I'm gonna let my daughter go ahead and spread her wings." So yeah. So I'm very lucky to have very supportive parents. Also lucky because of the prior context, but I think it all kind of just like fits together well. And yeah, I miss them so much. Have no idea, and especially given the I miss them. I miss the food. I'm an only child, so I definitely miss my parents so much. They're my mom's my best friend, and yeah, like so when I and it's sometimes hard to find time to call them, right? Because
Especially you're working now.
exactly. And basically during my work hours, the only time I can call them is probably before work or during my lunch break. But during my lunch break, I sometimes I have lunch dates with colleagues, like meet new people in the office and such, right? Or I just need a break. So, when I finish work, and usually that's the time when I want to call my parents, they're already asleep. So it's either that or weekends, which makes it really hard. But yeah, but I mean, I try, and yeah, I still try. Yeah. Like whenever I have a problem though, I still call them up for like, what should I do?
That's
That's
actually good. That's actually good. Like I think definitely the distance makes it hard for us to connect with them, but I mean, yeah, that it's those like these calls like when you need help and all that that show how close we are, and then it keeps the maintains the relationship.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. I gotta find out the balance a bit though between, me just complaining versus like me sharing the joyful things because sometimes if I reflect, and my mom mentioned this one time, it's like you're only calling me when you have a problem. I'm like, oh, oop, I'm sorry. This just means I really trust you for me, but yeah. So also finding that balance.
Yeah, like funnily for me, it's the opposite end because
Really?
yeah, I tend to I think it's a thing within my family itself where we just tend to share good things, and then we try to hide. But we try to hide, like all this terrible, like all this sad stuff and all that, which I find it's very unhealthy, especially after my mom's passing, my dad and all that. She's just like the very, like, I don't know, Asian dad. I can do everything kind of thing. Like everything, I'll try to handle it. So, it's really bad that way. I think it's important to have to share like your emotional well-being to others, telling others when you're not fine and all that. It's okay to be not okay. I know that's like such a cliche now, but it is true. It is true, especially for my dad and all that. So I started being more honest. Honest. I tell about all kinds of stuff, good things, bad things, happy, sad, funny things, or even like there's a lot of taboos that we talk about. Like I went on like online dating and all this, and then usually previously would never talk about it, and then I started sharing it with my dad and my sister as well. I just think definitely they are not that open yet, but I think at least start with me. I'll try my best to do this, and hopefully they'll share more, and then we can handle all this together.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mm,
That's actually that's really nice. Like you're doing something about it, right? So that's amazing. That's
yeah,
really good to hear.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, like, like I struggle with that too. Like, at least like it's in some sense, I feel like it's also kind of an Asian thing. Like, I mean, I share it, but then like our communication after that, like like I think definitely I need to put in more effort to like than just like acknowledging each other's feelings and also enabling that space for them to share back with me, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
I would be
I
curious.
think it is.
This could be a separate
It's
topic. I would
it's
be curious how you do that.
Yeah, yeah, actually true. Oh my God, there's like so many content ideas coming out right now. I was like, should jot down right now. Yes, interesting. Yeah, yeah, we should find someone to talk more about this. Yeah, but let's not get ourselves carried away. That's amazing. We know this problem that most Asian have, and then definitely it's harder when we're overseas. But yes, you told us so much about how, you just love being overseas. That's why you went to Malaysia and then you studied in Malaysia, and that's why you came to Germany. And I believe one of the best thing coming into Europe is that you have so many countries in your arm's reach. And that's why you call yourself an avid traveler as well. Can you share with us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, just to point on what you said just now, about loving being abroad. So maybe like yeah, say something a little bit about that. I wouldn't
Interesting.
categorize that as I wouldn't say it like that, like actually maybe I haven't decided yet whether I really like being abroad or not.
I see.
But but what I can say for sure is like I had the love to explore. I think that's one thing. And
Hmm.
I had a very strong like desire to be able to live abroad, or like it was my dream, right? And then when
Hmm.
I came here, I'm not saying I was so
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yes.
well,
Tell
but
us about it, actually. Everyone would love to hear.
but it's definitely not all rainbows and like yeah and sunshine, like I used to, and this is something I say a lot when I talk to my parents actually, like I used to question like because I know some people who, let's say like some Indonesians who they go to the US, to the UK, Australia for like their, I don't know, studies or whatever, they go to Europe, and then they come back to Indonesia. And like back then, I was thinking to myself, like, if they've experienced, such a nice life, that's what I thought it was gonna be. Why would they come back home? Like, why waste that? You have that education, you can get a job there. Like, what? Why not? And then I experienced it myself, and now I can understand why.
Why? Why is it?
Well, because the reality is, like in a lot of cases, we can live a nicer life at home, and it's true. Like you can, um like I this is it's like a privilege problem, but I can say that if I
First
go
world problem, is it?
like I think for a lot of us in Southeast Asia, and I don't know if I want to go like if I want this online, but I guess
We'll decide later.
we'll decide later. Okay, good. Like I think like I know if I go back home, like I'd have a better lifestyle in that sense, in a sense where like yeah, like in Indonesia, I would be able to stay in nice hotels with my parents. Like, okay, now, like maybe not alone, but and here, not really. Here, if I travel, I go to hostels or or I travel with my friend if I wanna, like to save cost. And at home, there's a car. I won't have to worry about carrying stuff. Like just, just that. I've had to move 4 times this year because finding a house, no, finding an accommodation, an apartment is so freaking hard. Like they actually interview you here. It's dumb. It's just
Wow.
there is more demand than there is supply, which drives up the cost, but also just makes it, even if you have the means, it's still freaking hard. And that's the problem I won't face in Indonesia, Like these things, right? And then me moving, like, if I was just back home, I can get my parents' support. I can get my family support. Hell, and I can pay for a moving truck. Like, that's not a big deal. But here, it's so expensive, Like, you have to figure out ways for you to be able to just like basic things. I've never had to fix an appliance when I was in Indonesia. I come here, I fixed a light bulb, I fixed a freaking washing machine. Bro, I've grown so much in that sense, like level of resilience. Whoop! Like all
Like
this shit I've had to like, yeah, figure out.
even today, just now, in fact, like this podcast episode doesn't come easy. It
Yeah.
has actually been delayed, I think at least like two hours, at least 2 hours, because for some reason Nafisa's Wi-Fi went down, and then before that, even until now, the hot water isn't working, right?
No, no, the
Yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, see, basic stuff, guys. Like I'm not kidding. Like I'm at home in Indonesia. Okay, sometimes it happens, yeah, but it like you can fix it. You can fix it fast, and you have more control over it in a sense because okay, it's like your own. I mean, but I guess that's also the difference between when you're home with your family versus when you're like living alone, right? Like,
Mhm.
because then these struggles kind of yeah, that's the difference. But I don't know, like things. I feel like in Indonesia, a lot of things like these things can be easier.
Uh,
You have something broken, you call someone, it's fixed. Here,
I
like
mean, we can, but it's just very expensive.
it's very expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. That's what it is. Yeah, so and it's just not pocket friendly for students or I don't know, like young or yeah, young professionals. So you
I get what
technically
you mean.
can, but most people don't. Like I don't know if it's the case in the UK, but in Germany I definitely see that. Most people just they move by themselves, they fix things by themselves. Everyone's a technician here. Like
I think fixing wise, like DIY is quite a huge thing here as
mm,
well. I mean, I don't know, they are just born doing DIY. They love doing DIY. It's their hobbies. They like yeah, they do that. They remodel their home themselves and all that. But I think in terms of moving, I guess that depends. Definitely, I have. Oh yeah, I have a friend which I talked to few a month ago, I think almost. Yeah. So one of a friend is just bought a house, and then they are renovating it.
in the UK?
They did everything themselves. They did everything. They just got friends to paint the wall and all that. Fixing up cabinets and all that. So they did it all by themselves. Yeah, I think because definitely, it saves a lot of money. I think for them, they had a lot of friends, so moving, and it's a shorter distance, so moving, I think they did it themselves as well. But I think for other than that, within my friends, international, I guess we still tend to use moving. It's relatively okay here, moving companies. I don't know. Yeah, not entirely sure. But I still hear a lot of people like using moving companies. Just on the remodeling, renovating and all that. Yeah, they do it themselves. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your friend that you told me about, that's like they're local.
Yes, they're local. They are
Mm.
local. I'm very impressed. Took them a long time. They painted like imagine like I think it's at least a three-bedroom room and a three-bedroom house, sorry. And yeah, they painted all of them themselves. Yeah, I think they put on their own carpets and all that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But
Yeah.
but that reminds me, like my manager last year also just moved houses and she painted the walls on her own, her and her husband. I was like, whoa. Whoa,
Cool.
cool.
Couple activity, you know.
And she was,
Well, it can go worse if the husband ruin the wall or something.
oh my gosh. But yeah, I was like, whoa, okay, cool. Good for you.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like a lot of work, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, like hearing these things and all the stories that like
Mm.
yeah, people like more senior than you are doing in yeah, in these countries. And you're like, oh shit, what's my future gonna look like? Do I have to pay my own house too?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you mean, because like in Asia and all this, yeah, my family and all that, we've grown to be really reliant on like external services for all kind of things, whenever we need to fix something, plumber, electrician, yeah, painter and all this. Yeah, but here, no, it's different.
It's so different. Yeah, this could be a topic on its own, honestly, right? And I'm so
Mm,
sorry. I feel like I'm going away from the topic. But yeah, like that's something. I think that's an interesting thing to discuss, right? Like the difference
mm,
between like yeah, because I think that's a it's a big difference, right? Living like like us coming from countries where like we're so used to external service, and here it's so different, and that affects
yes.
like your life as well, right? This is some things that you don't feel it, but in the beginning maybe, but it affects you. It affects your life. Like you're
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to things doing a certain way, but when you're moving to a completely different place, right? There's so many other culture shocks as well. This one of being like, I never realized this until I talked to you, and you're like, and yeah,
Mm.
actually, that is a thing, right? How the orientation between, like using external service and, just doing things on your own. So, yeah.
That's true. That is true. Yeah,
Okay.
but you talked about all that. Wondering. Yep, sorry, we have to take a bit of pause on the original travel stuff, but have this affected your lifestyle?
Yeah.
I'm very like it's very funny whenever heard you laugh. I was like, oh, but there must be something interesting coming on.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I would say so, honestly. Yeah. Yes.
What have changed? What's the biggest change? It would be amazing. You can tell us like your typical day previous, like back in Indonesia, and your
Oh,
typical day now in Germany.
now I
What have
feel
you sacrificed?
like if I talk about my typical day in Indonesia, I feel so freaking spoiled. I swear. I I wake up. Okay, okay. Let's see. But it's a bit hard to compare, yeah, because okay,
Mm,
what I'm gonna do, I'll compare the weekends, okay? Because yeah, I never really worked in Indonesia, right? Like, so I can't compare the typical work day, but I'll compare the weekends. I would wake up at whatever time, maybe like 11 a.m., 12. And then maybe we cook breakfast together, me and my dad, or with my mom. Yeah, and then like eat. But we never worry about laundry. Like probably the only thing I'd have to do is put my folded and ironed laundry back to my wardrobe, but I don't even, but even that I I used to postpone that. And then we would just go out. We would yeah, go to a mall. My I would drive or my mom would or my dad would drive, depending on where we go, depending on what time it is. If it's late at night, then my dad would drive because he prefers it that way. And then yeah, and then yeah, if it's just us, like yeah, we go out, we go to a cousin's place, and yeah, just or like oh, and maybe we end the day with like watching like a TV show that my parents like, NCIS or something. Yeah, and yeah,
it doesn't sound too spoiled. It's just very wholesome. It is like a lot of
yeah,
family time and all that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so
Mm.
nice. If it rains, like we never carry umbrellas because we never have to.
There's a car. Like everything is indoors. In the car parks. Yeah.
Compared to a weekend here, okay. I wake up. If I have some laundry things, I do laundry. I go downstairs, like, okay, like, depending on where, before this, I just moved, yeah, so now it's just going downstairs once. But before this, I was living on the fourth floor. And fourth, the German floor is basically fifth floor because there's zero, one, two, three, four, right? And then, and then I go down and then I wait, or okay, I leave it, but I go back up, and then that's basically cardio, right? And then that's basically like, and then I need to spin it. And then I come back up again, and I go back down finally, and then I dry it, and the whole thing takes process, okay? But anyway, okay, so I do that. Let's say I take laundry, and then and if I clean, and if it's on a Sunday, like Sunday, I try to make it my cleaning day. Um, then basically half of the day is just gone for domestic housework. Oh, you know how much I hate that, like my son,
See, I see.
from how I
I
see,
see.
like, ah. But yeah, like I never had to worry about that. And then okay, I go out, let's say. I meet a friend, we go to the park. I love going to parks, by the way. It's like
Mm.
there is a park that's so beautiful. Cycling there in the sun. Oh, best thing. So that's something I wouldn't get at home in that sense. But if it freaking rains here, depending on how much you have to walk or like how close you are to the nearest available public transport, right? If you don't bring umbrella, you're screwed. And I hate being rained on, okay? I hate it. I hate it with a with a passion. I don't
You
like
did it with a passion. I like how you say that.
like every time, I swear, every time it rains and I don't have my umbrella with me, I always think about if this was in Jakarta, I wouldn't have this problem. And just say, and yeah, so like I have 2 weekends. I can, it's more wholesome if I spend it back home. Here, I would have 1.5 weekend because half the days just cleaning and doing housework.
I see. I
So
see.
yeah, that's the difference. So I think now, like I think you kind of see, like in the weekend side, and I would eat good food at home. Oh, and they wouldn't be expensive. Dude, I would just yeah, well, like maybe we wouldn't even cook, right? We would just like buy something, and we'll still have good food. Here, I have to compensate with eating food, even though it's
Or
maybe
cook yourself.
or cook myself. Yeah, and even that it wouldn't be like super tasty or whatever, and it's expensive. But yeah, that's the life. So
I can literally hear your heart crying and all that. Oh, while you're saying all this, I was like, oh, why did I bring myself to suffer in this place?
I would sometimes ask myself that. Is it worth it? So yeah, I guess weekends wise, you can say that I would prefer a weekend back home. It would be better spent in that sense. And maybe for these reasons, now I realize, right? Like, and this is a normal weekend. The weekends that your washing machine breaks down is the weekend where it's hell
Oh,
here, and a weekend that's probably okay. It's annoying, right? If I was at home in Indonesia, but it's fine because I even if I lived on my own, I just call up someone or I ask a friend,
mm,
"Hey, do you know a guy?"
I
And
see.
things get fixed. Here,
Are you rich enough to do that? It's
I
like the
go.
wallet calling you. I was like, are you sure you want to do that? Uh,
I swear, like my goal, if I wanna, I think like if I wanna keep living in like a European country or like just generally any first world country, like my goal is to be rich enough to afford those things because I can't. I don't want to. Like I've never had to, and I don't want to have to sacrifice on having to waste time on that. Like if I can afford it, like so my goal is to be able to afford these services, no matter how
I
expensive they
see.
are. That's my goal. I mean, ideally to reach before 30, but we'll see.
I still remember. I still remember the long term goal you set out. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
do quite believe you can do it. Yeah, like I mean like the particular goals that you show me. So yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The audience don't need to know it, but yeah, you just need to know my confidence that you can do that.
Appreciate.
Yeah. Yes, but okay, that sound terrible. I mean I have to agree with some of it. I do have to agree like yeah, coming here it's living a worse life and all that. In fact, it's harder for me when I was student. Like I
Hmm.
guess it's okay, it's slightly better for me for the transition because I transitioned from a student to become a working adult and
Yeah, you've
oh
already
my God,
got it
being a
there.
working adult is so much more better in the UK because like definitely food and all that is still expensive and all that, but
Hmm.
at least now you have the money and you can do that a lot better because I don't have rich parents where I can just they can just pay me every time when I finish spending my money. So I need to when I was really a student I need to manage that really carefully. And yeah, once I started working, it became a lot more flexible. And yeah, I started seeing the beauty of British pounds or euro in your sense. It's like it's it's like it's so valuable. It's like wow, like just a small amount of money. Definitely if you talk about food and all that, unfortunately it doesn't apply. But like when you talk about retail therapy, shopping and all that, I was like
That's
that's something I absolutely enjoyed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking of that, like I was just talking to my dad, but I feel like it's so unfair, like cause retail therapy. Okay, let's say you buy something from H&M, the
Mm,
how much it cost here versus if you buy it in Malaysia or in Indonesia, it's the same. Like, why do they standardize? Like, why is it standardized? It's a real question. I feel like because people have different buying power, like
mm,
right? Like people can afford more here if they have like pounds salary in pounds and
mm.
euros versus if that they were paid in rupiah. Like so that's a mystery to me. Like I think it's so not fair, but yeah.
Would you want it to be? Would you want it to be higher though?
No, no, I want it to be cheaper for my people back home. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
I see, I see.
Be cheaper for them. They shouldn't be
Okay.
paying the same amount I'm paying for iCloud.
I see. Okay, okay. I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
The
Okay.
standard or the
Yeah.
basis should be this, like, right? Because
Mm,
okay, Apple is a company from the US. They
mm,
base it off of US customers, right? If they I
mm.
think I personally think that if they want to, like, like make it available and extend their offerings in other countries, they should also adjust for the different buying powers of
Yeah.
the
I
consumers.
mean, they actually do, but it's just like it's such a small difference. Like that's why I actually I have to admit this. Like quite a shameful act. I do still shop a lot when I head back to Malaysia and all that. It's okay when you compare to pounds and all that. It's so minor. So like Uniqlo shirt here, pants shirt, yeah, whatever. It's like maybe £10 here, and then back in Malaysia they're like £5 to £7. Like it's
It's cheap.
cheaper.
The exact
Yes, it is.
Really?
Sorry.
The
Yeah, it is
exact like
cheaper.
physically exact same like
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like shoes and all that. I think okay, perhaps for I think maybe because of Brexit or whatever. So maybe UK is more expensive. Maybe UK is more expensive, because I remember there's this crazy pair of running shoes. Yeah, because I run a lot, so I buy a pair of running shoe every year. It's £135 in the UK, and if I convert it to Malaysian ringgit, like directly, it will be almost 800 ringgits. And in Malaysia, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's 550.
yeah. It's a big difference.
Yes, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. So yeah, but definitely it's still very unfair for Malaysian considering like the minimum wage is quite dollar to dollar, it's almost similar, but when we look at like the items and all that, it's like 135 versus 550. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still unfair. Yeah, just yeah.
You're making the most of it, I think. So that's
Yeah,
good.
like my family is coming to Austria for like not for shopping. My family is coming for Austria for traveling, and yes, I did ask them to buy some things for me. Yeah, just like can't miss out that. Can't miss out that. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
That's really
yes.
nice.
But yes, let's jump back to traveling.
Travels.
I
Actually, I have the perfect segue for this because like
Why?
I'm basically talking shit about living here, right? But one thing that I I have to say I can't find at home, or not really can't find, but it's definitely more convenient here is the travel.
I
Because,
think especially for you in Germany, you like
yeah,
it's just so convenient, so close to everything.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's crazy because like we're basically located in kind of like the middle of Europe, Central Europe, and like we have borders with France, Belgium, Netherlands, and
I
Austria,
know
Swiss,
Austria, yes.
and then on that side, Czech and Poland, right? I haven't been to Poland yet, but the other countries I've been, and I could just, take a train. And this is something that one of the reasons why I decided I like would really like to stay. One of my strong reasons why I wanted to stay in Germany after my internship was because of this. Like I'm a huge travel person and like it just brings me joy. It's like one of my passions in life. If like, if you ask the question like, okay, if you say if I don't if you don't like if you don't have to worry about earning money and like you can just do whatever you want. What would I do? I would travel. That's my answer. So like it's so nice. It's so easy here. Like things are so accessible and there's so many just being in Europe like there's so many different places and it's quite easier as well because I have the like ever since I got my residence permit then I can just go everywhere like I don't even have to carry my passport sometimes. I mean it's still better too, but I
Mhm.
can show my residence permit and yeah. Like I think when I travel by bus or train it doesn't matter, they just want to see my residence permit, but if I travel by flight then they still check my passport, which
I
yeah.
see.
But yeah, I mean the proximity. So like last year, because it was like my first year, and like obviously I was learning an intern salary. I didn't have so much money yet. Like I don't have much money now either, but like, I have a bit more. So last year I just traveled to like the close by places, right? Like
But you still did travel, that's the thing.
Like, listen, if you put, it's just gonna happen. If you put Nafisa in Europe, you put Nafisa in anywhere, she's gonna travel anyway. Like, the only thing that stopped me from traveling was COVID.
Oh, okay.
So that's just my thing. Like, I can't help it. Like, one of my, and this I can say to our audience here, like one of my 2030 goals is to travel to X amount of countries. Like that's something that I know like will happen anyway. I don't really need to put conscious effort to it because I'm gonna have the urge to travel. Like it just happens naturally. Um but yeah, like yeah, I just so last year I visited like all the not all. I haven't been to Poland yet, but I visited like Czech, and I seriously recommend Austria. It's gorgeous, so I'm excited about your trip in Austria because it's a beautiful
Ooh.
place. I
Yeah, I should actually ask for recommendations from you. Why have I never thought
Yeah,
of that? Why did I
yeah, dude,
forget?
absolutely. One of the okay, so this is what I like to do on my travels. This is like okay, so
Hmm?
generally I can give you like a general like basics of like traveling or like best things to do. I think and I've still traveled twice. I travel yeah, like I don't know, a couple times a year. What I'm saying to say is I
That's
travel.
alright. Yeah.
Um like what I've figured out that really works for me is the moment you get to a new city, book a walking tour, a free walking tour. Like those tip-based ones. So, it's basically up to you how much you're gonna give at the end, right? Depending on how you liked it, depending on how much you have in your pocket. It's the best for me as an intern, like when I started last year, because I didn't have much, but I wanted to explore the city, right? And it's so nice because when you're not familiar with a city and it's like, your first time there, when you want to go places you if you're alone, you have to navigate, right? You don't have someone there, you have to navigate. But if you go on this walking tour, you just follow. You don't have to worry about, like you don't have to check your phone all the time to navigate to the place that you want to go, right? And then you see most of the touristic place. And especially in Europe where like basically there's this like whichever big city or like any city that you visit, there's always like a a center or an old town in Germany. That's very common to have an old town, right? So most of the things that you want to see, like the touristic places, they're walkable within distance. So it's so possible for you to do, a walking tour. And that's why it's so nice. You see all of the main things and you can ask anything to the tour guide. For if you're a foodie, you just ask for the best recommendations, right? If I'm a sunset person. I love watching sunset. That's also my non-negotiable when I visit a new city. So first walking tour, second sunset. I just ask, okay, what's the place I can go to a viewpoint? What's the viewpoint here? And what's the best place to watch sunset? Right? And then, and anything else. And yeah, you want to ask about, okay, what's the best place to go grocery shopping? What's the cheapest grocery store? You just ask your guide because they live there, right? And what I like also is I've made a couple of friends just by going on those walking tours. Also a great opportunity to meet friends, and then you have travel buddies at least during the 2 days or the couple of days that you're there in that city. That's what I do. So yeah, top recommendations is that.
Amazing. Yeah, like yeah, that's actually like I mean I knew that from you, but I just never knew so much about it. Like in fact now you shared more in details like yeah, like asking questions and all this it is the very right way to travel. Yeah, yeah. I
Exactly.
oh my
That's
God.
because that
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 really
saves.
opened my mind. Hmm.
Yeah, that's like it's a win-win, right? Like yeah, it's major win for you because you get to explore, you see all the main places. You can ask anything. They're like either they're local or they've lived there for a long time. So, like it's the perfect thing to do when you just first got there. Instead of exploring things on your own, you don't really know how things work. I normally also ask them, okay, how do I get a public transport card? Because, like, at least for me, I like sometimes I also travel during the weekends, which means that I probably don't have a lot of time planning the trip. Right? So I don't really do the research of how does the public
You're
transport.
basically outsourcing the research to that. I don't know how much tip that you have paid to that that
Yeah.
particular guide.
Yeah, and it's their job. It's easier for them to navigate. They're more familiar with it. Like why put, like because you're gonna be there anyway. So like, just making efficient use of your time. That's how I
True.
like to think
Absolutely.
about it. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Amazing.
Vienna.
Amazing.
Vienna's yeah, I definitely I can recommend you a specific like tour in Vienna. There's the Sandemann's one. There's a lot of options in Vienna, I think so. Yeah,
Let's do that offline. I'll love to get
absolutely.
that from you. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Yeah.
So,
Amazing. Wow. Yeah. How many places have you traveled actually? Just wondering. Over the time that you've been here. I'm curious to know.
over the time that when you say places, do you mean cities or?
Let's just say countries. Countries is easier. Countries is easier. Let's
Okay,
just not say
countries
cities.
since I moved to Germany. I can tell you
Yes.
amount of countries I visited in total in my life. But
Sure. Why not? Why not?
yo, I low-key feel like I'm flexing. Oh wow. Okay,
I
I
mean,
mean it's
it
not
is your
too
hobby.
much. It's not too much yet, but it's higher than my age. I visited 25 countries.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. I believe one of the biggest barrier is because of your visa. If you didn't have that
Mm.
barrier, you would have went a lot higher. Yeah, 40, 50.
That and money
Okay, true.
at this age.
True.
Because
Okay.
yeah, some trips you gotta yeah put in some yeah you gotta save up for some things, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, at least if I didn't have to get a UK visa, I would have visited you. I don't know, a month ago or something. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
but
see.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting thing about the money part. So, how are you actually doing financially, with like together while you're traveling and all this? Yeah, how are you balancing these?
Hide my face right now because now I'm not doing that well. Two major things. I just had
Hmm?
two major like how do you call it like because okay like my housing is just like always I housing is a really big challenge. Apart from what I've just mentioned, but yeah, I haven't really been lucky. So okay, apart from the rent, but I'm paying like rent for this sublet because before I move to my permanent place, like which for the permanent place, I haven't paid the rent yet, but I've paid deposit. So I have to pay deposit for both. Like I have to pay deposit for this rent plus the rent, and then deposit
That
for the
is
other rent.
scary.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money, and that's why I'm not traveling anyway. Like around this month.
I see.
Sad that I'm not traveling this month. Like I'm trying to figure out something. Like I
Some cheap ways to still be somewhere. Yeah.
yeah. My dad was like, you should visit your aunt in Netherlands. I'm like, ooh, maybe that would be a good idea. I
You
can
just
stay
need
a
the
week.
train ticket and yeah, everything,
Yeah,
most things will be included. Yeah.
exactly. And maybe I can just stay a week there and explore. Because I haven't been to some cities, but yeah. So I'm entertaining that. That's how I keep myself sane. Planning trips. But yeah. But yeah. But let's go back to that question like you're asking. How many trips have I been? Okay, since I moved last time, so that was April.
Mm.
I'm gonna like take a look at my like yearly calendar now. So okay, April, and then I think in May I went to, but this is like a in Germany trip. So that
Okay.
was one. And then I went to Vienna in May actually, last year May.
Mm.
And then okay, so that's two. And then in June. But
We're talking about countries though.
oh, we're talking about country.
Yeah,
Ah, right,
countries,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, not cities, yeah.
Okay, then Austria was one. And then where did I go?
I know France. You went France recently.
Okay, yeah, France recently, that's true. Greece. This year is a lot better. I'm trying like last
This
year I
year a
was
lot better.
in the sense where I'm I'm traveling further now. So I went to
Mm.
okay, if we backtrack, I went to France recently. I went to Belgium, to Brussels.
Mm.
Finally, I've never been to Brussels. Brussels is amazing, by the way. I didn't realize how amazing it was. It's amazing. And then I
Okay.
went to Luxembourg. Oh, just July actually was crazy. I was in 5 countries.
Wow.
Yeah. I,
Wow.
I was basically
You
I
should have
was
you should have split some and gave some to August.
I know. I know. Like it was not so it was I guess the planning part. My fault on the planning part. But yeah, France, Belgium, Luxembourg,
Spain, you went to Spain, right?
yeah, Greece. I went to Spain in June and then
Switzerland. Have you been there?
Switzerland this January. Yes. But yeah, I
Wow.
think just 6 countries this year.
No, oh, but since you're here though, I mean like there's seven on my hand though, for some reason. Seven.
Did
Yeah.
you include Germany? There's so many.
No, no, no. I
So
don't think
many.
so. There's France, Spain,
Spain,
Belgium, Switzerland,
Switzerland,
and Greece,
Greece, Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Yeah, what's the last one? I actually forgot.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're not
maybe I
counting
was
Germany,
mistaken.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, no,
And
I'm not
then
counting Germany.
okay, so that's this year and then last year I went to Hungary,
Wow.
also Austria. Austria we had did we had Austria? Did we count
Yeah,
Austria?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah,
Slovakia.
I think so.
But that was because it was because I went on this like Christmas trip by bus and we went to like three capitals like Slovakia like yeah in Slovakia I forgot the name of the capital. But yeah, Budapest and then Vienna. So that's why we got like 3 countries at once. And then I went to Czech. Oh, I went to Prague also this year. Yeah, so Czech. So
Okay.
that's 9.
You need one more to get 10.
Okay,
Italy. Have you not been to Italy? Oh, Netherlands. Okay,
Netherlands,
Netherlands.
Italy. Yeah. Then last year I was in Italy too.
Any
And
of the Nordic countries?
no, I haven't been to any Nordic countries.
Okay.
What
Portugal?
else is like? No, I haven't been to Portugal on my list as well. Um,
Turkey?
not this year. Not since I
Okay.
moved here. I
Not
went
this year.
not this year.
Like, I like that. Like it's like no, it's like not this year. It's like it's on the list, you know, some time ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Not this year though. What else is in the border? But yeah, no, I think just that. Yeah.
I
So
see.
11.
That's quite a lot. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. What's the your most favorite country?
I have to say it's Greece. It's Greece.
Oh, it's
Greece
Greece.
has
Okay.
Greece has a place in my heart. Like I loved it so much, and not just because of the amazing nature. And I have to say, like, okay, me coming from Indonesia, okay, we have great beaches as well. So, beach-wise, some beaches are really special there. Like for example, like Sarakiniko and Milos, it's just special. You don't see anything like that unless it's there. Like at least I've never seen anything like that. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But yeah, but other than that, like I think in Indonesia we have sandier beaches and it's like nicer to just sit and relax. Like there it's more like rocky, and maybe it's like also the terrain. It's definitely different. It's like drier, like in Indonesia it's like more tropical, obviously. So like in some sense I like my some beaches I like better at home. But Greece was special to me because um yeah, the buildings in Santorini, it's just it's beautiful. And yeah, like I just love being out in the water. But apart from that, I think my trip was quite a mix between the islands, right? Which Santorini has that like picturesque like island like buildings and all, and then Milos has amazing nature. The beach that I told you about, and then in Athens, and then I went to Athens, and I Greece has been on my list for the longest time. I've always wanted to visit Athens because I grew up reading Percy Jackson, which is this.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know Percy Jackson? But
Yeah, I heard of it. I never read it, but I know about it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like I grew up like reading about these Greek mythologies, right? So I've just always I read so many about like these Greek gods or goddess temples, and like knowing Athens is actually it's a city like Athens come from the name Athena because
Mhm.
they're like Athena is the goddess of wisdom, is the patron of that city. That's basically how. So knowing that I would be able to visit a city with such rich history and like all of that Greek civilization, like seeing the history of that and also seeing the buildings, the Parthenon, like just woo, like so I was so excited about that. So it's like a dream come true. That, but on top of that, so you get both. You get the nature, you get the history and the Greek civilization, and then Greek people are so nice. Like I swear, they're so nice. They're so warm and friendly, and I have to say, like me living in Germany, it was a very refreshing like
I see, I see.
it's a very
Very recharging and all that.
yes. So yeah, they're so nice, really kind people. Whenever I need help or whatever, they're very. Yeah, I mean, there are some. I had one bad experience with a taxi driver, but that's one out of I don't know. Like I needed my Airbnb host was super nice. Like one time I forgot to bring my charger, and this is such a key thing, right? Like how can a frequent traveler like me forgot a charger? I didn't sleep that night.
Something to reflect. Oh.
I wasn't prepared enough. Like I didn't. I slept like two hours, I think, because I needed to leave at like 3 a.m. because my
That's
flight was at
crazy.
6. Yeah, and then I don't remember what happened that day, but I had it. It was one of the very rare days where I had to work kind of late. So I slept very little, and then I completely forgot my charger. So I've been using my friend's charger the whole time, and then my last day in Milos, where I was like, my friends had to leave earlier. I didn't have, well, I have my cable, but I didn't have this thing, like
The hate. Yeah,
the head.
I see.
Yeah. So I asked my Airbnb host, and he borrowed me. So
Oh,
nice. And I asked it at freaking 11 because my dumbass completely forgot to ask about that. And I just realized, oh shit, I have to charge my phones. And then yeah, and then he like came by 5 minutes later. And I was
that's so nice.
Greek
That's
people.
lovely.
Recommend
Amazing.
Greece. Absolutely recommend
Okay,
Greece.
I see. I'll put that on the list. I'll put that on the list. Yeah,
You have to.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. Well, that's a lot of country that we have traveled to, and then yeah, amazing experience in Greece. But yes, let's say just now you said that recently you're doing terrible financially right now.
Yeah.
But outside of this, let's hope this doesn't happen again. What you're experiencing now. How do you manage, like your finances while you're traveling and all that? How do you save up money for that? Do you have a framework? Yeah, any tips?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's like I was trying to before I moved here or like before I started my job, I've always like I was trying to pick up a lot on like, learning personal finance to get to get ready for real life and adulthood. This is the one part of adulting that I'm interested in, like, woo, managing finances.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm the best at it. I still don't like track my expenses daily. But but it's like I try to pay by card all the time. That's so far how I know where my most of my expenses
Oh
go.
yeah, that's true. I forgot that, in Germany it's like mainly a cash-based society. That's why it makes it harder as well. Like now I realize why it's easier in the UK because like I can just check the app and everything is there.
Yeah, so that's a pain, right? Whenever I get caught off guard and I have to pay something by cash, I have to manually input that. Otherwise, I just keep it to card, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
in a like reviewing sense, it's annoying. But okay, cut to the chase. What's really saved my life is, or like made this part of my life easier is I use Revolut, which
It's
is
like a plug. If only they sponsored us.
sorry guys, I'm unfortunately it's not sponsored. It's not an ad. I'm just saying my really good experience. But hey, Revolut,
Yeah.
maybe sponsor us.
Yeah. We could have a referral link down there.
I think I
Oh my
break the
god.
leg though. I could.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, no, but genuinely like I liked it a lot because in the beginning, like, if you move the first time, it's you have if I had to get a traditional bank account, I don't think I would have been able to get it ready in time for my first salary. Because
Mm.
um yeah, at least for my company, like I don't know if this is common in the UK too, but like we get our salary on the 15th of every month, not in the beginning of the month.
Um oh no, we get at the end of the
You get
end of the month, like 20th something, yeah.
20th.
20th
Oh,
something. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's
20th
interesting.
something. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, like usually maybe the last Friday or something. It depends on the company, but usually, the
Yeah.
last particular day, something like that. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, but I get it on the middle.
Interesting. Interesting as
Middle.
well. Like never knew like 15 like so particularly
Yeah.
mid-month.
Yeah,
Mm.
15th. Or if it falls on a weekend, then earlier. Yeah, it's mid-month, which I realized that for my this is a recent realization. If I buy stocks mid-month, at least for the past year, it's always like pricier. Like it has like the valuation has grown mid-month, and I'm like, ah shit, I'm never buying at the right time. So that's what I try to do with Revolut. It makes it so easy. Okay, first, why I like it is because they have this pockets concept. So you get your money, and then you can automate it. Right, this is my favorite thing. You allocate it to all of the different buckets. So I have my needs, which is rent, telco, and groceries, right? And then I have my shopping. I don't put a lot in there because I don't like shopping in general. I put things for because I love traveling, so I always allocate a certain budget from my monthly salary to traveling. So I have my own travel bucket, and then I have travel bucket. So I have investing. So I allocate as yeah. So that's kind of like my saving and yeah investing part. Okay, now I separate that. I have my own like savings, but yeah, for the majority I have yeah investing. I put some like a lot into that, and yeah, did I miss out on anything? Let me check my pockets right now. I can do that. But yeah, basically this
Sure.
thing,
Mm.
yeah, this feature like helps a lot because I don't have to worry about that whenever my, salary comes. Whatever I have left in my bank account, I know that okay, that's the amount I can spend for any other thing. And then I go grocery shopping, I just, take up a bit from um yeah, from the pocket that I have like allocated it to. let's see. Oh, I also have for charity. I
Oh,
have
that's amazing.
subscriptions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have subscriptions because yeah, last year this is a new learning because last year a lot of things were eating up my subscriptions. I'm like, wait, where's this money coming? Like, how am I funding this? Right? I don't have anything allocated to that. So yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Nice.
just this is missing. Yeah, yeah. So
That's cool.
subscriptions, and yeah. So that's how I like automate this and makes it so much easier. So whenever I want to spend something, like I just look at it and see how much do I have left, right? So if I want to shop and I see that I don't have the money to shop anymore because I've already used my budget, then well, I'm just gonna have to shop it next month.
Month. Okay. Okay.
Right? Or I
Yeah.
save up, but yeah. But to be honest, like that's also another issue, like saving up for electronics. I think for electronics or like some tech gadgets and stuff, like sometimes you have to save for it. Like for example, recently when I was in Paris, I broke my Apple Watch.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like I still have it, but it's super cracked.
What happened actually? What
Like
happened?
so even before that, so it actually started when I was here,
Mm-hmm.
and I no, in Greece. It cracked a little bit, just outside, right? And then
Okay.
it fell when I was in Paris twice. And it's just it doesn't work anymore. So I mean,
I see.
yeah. But I mean, I guess I could still charge it. It's just low battery. I could technically still charge it, but it's broken. You know, like it doesn't look nice at all. You can't really use it. I actually
I
can't use
see.
it because I can't tap on it, which I can only use it when I put my passcode on it, so it doesn't work.
I see.
So things like this, I was when I came back here, I was like, I want to buy Apple Watch. I was
But
like,
then what does your bank account tells you?
no.
But it's good though. The thing is like I mean you are being very rational. Some people even though they set all these standards where they follow, they will still break rules. But yeah, you're being very honest with yourself. Like it says no and yeah, no, I guess it
Because
is. I
the
know it is sad. It is very it's like quite heartbreaking when you something like this happen, but then it says no. Yeah, but it's good that you're following it. Yeah.
So yeah, there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely there has to be some sort of discipline that comes to it, right? Like I
Mm.
was you have no idea though. I was this close to just ordering one from Amazon, like literally, and then I was like, and especially with the Amex credit card.
Like 1 month later, right? Yeah, but it's good that you didn't do that. Yeah, I'm here to tell you that. I mean, I'm not gonna say how essential it is, but I think it's not like a phone. Like phone is
Yeah,
different, but like watch is still okay. Yeah,
yeah,
it's still okay to buy it later. Yeah,
yeah. When I
and you can make that
reflected,
another reward.
yeah,
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 a good
exactly, right?
reason.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That and yeah, I think it's like, me realizing I have to pay like twice deposit and a bigger rent this time around. So that
Oh,
and
that really woke you up. It's like, no, I can't buy the watch. Is it?
yeah, yeah, and another thing actually is the fact that they're gonna launch a new Apple Watch in
Oh,
September. So
solid.
if I wait a bit, I can get because I'm not planning to get the new one. I'm planning to get the SE2 because that's good enough. Like I just need it for, I don't need a fancy like Apple Watch. I just need something to track. Like what I want to use it is like actually for it to be a fitness tracker, right?
Hmm.
So, it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be the latest, but I still want the SE2. I can get it at a
Hmm.
cheaper price after the new
Yeah.
launch. So,
Absolutely. That's really smart.
yeah,
That's amazing.
that's the reason why
That
I'm
that
holding
that that's
out.
a good mindset.
I
That's a
can
good
wait
mindset.
three
Well
more
done.
weeks.
Congratulations. I do applaud for your long-term vision and your resilience. Do we call this resilience?
Buying an Apple Watch, like holding off on buying an Apple Watch, calling it resilience. Oh,
Okay, yeah.
so funny. But hey, that means a lot to me, man, considering
Mm,
how much into personal finance you are. So thank you.
yeah, yeah. I mean like to most people this is a good job. Yeah, like this like what you're doing is amazing. Yeah, keep it up.
I'm glad to hear that. So like if
Mm.
I get tempted again in the next 2 weeks, I will remember what
Message
you
me.
said. Yeah. Well,
I'll list down 10 reasons why you shouldn't buy.
that would help
Oh my
actually.
god. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
Amazing though. Thanks for sharing like how you manage your finances. That's really really a good framework that I believe many can follow like just to keep themselves at least financially sane.
but yeah,
Yeah,
true.
financially
But I
sane.
think I'm doing the
Mm.
bare minimum. I think you can share a lot more on that topic. Like I was scheduling a call with you to learn from you.
Yeah. I like there's so many content ideas coming out. I was like, now I only need to find the time to actually create all this like individual podcasts.
Yo.
Yeah, to talk about all this.
But okay,
Yeah.
maybe like a quick one. On
Mm.
top of what I'm doing, like what do you think? How can I improve, like, my financial management? Like, what would be a quick win to improve?
Ah, I don't really I can't really judge based on that. Like based on like what you're saying, it's really good. I think it's really good because I think if we were to dive deeper, it's more like looking directly at the numbers and all that.
Hmm.
Like having pockets and all this are amazing. I think I have one thing to comment on is,
Hmm.
but the stock investing part. I understand sometimes when we buy it, it just seems like why is it such a terrible deal? Like, oh my God, the date we chose. In fact, recently that happened to me. That happened to me. You said you buy it on the 15th. I buy it on usually the first of every month. And the first is just last week. I think it was last week Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And on this Monday, there was a huge dip. And
Yep.
then I was like, gosh, why
Mm.
didn't I just why didn't I
Tell me
just
about it.
wait it? But that's the thing. But I think because now it's fully automated, right? What you did is like it's fully automated, right? You're not doing it. Yeah, I think that's a really good way. It takes out your emotion from it.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of DCA is just this. No matter it's high or it's low, just do it consistently. The point
Consistent.
is just consistently because we
Yeah.
are not trying to time the market, we're trying to average it.
Yep.
But if you happen to save more, if you have the capital, like what I did, so in on Monday, it's just too tempting. So what I
You
did,
read it.
because because of the dip, so I bought in. I would have bought in more if it's not because I'm moving down to London. There's a
Mm.
lot more expenses coming in, but I just bought in the same amount that I invested every month. So yeah, like I just bought in an extra. I call it an extra month. Yeah, I bought an extra month. Yeah, because it is quite a significant dip, but yeah, I mean,
It's good.
primarily DCA just follow it, and if there is a significant one and you have the capital, maybe you can just follow the guideline of putting another month in, just so it's easier. You don't have to figure out, oh my god, should I put in my whole like whole saving and all that? Yeah. Mm.
But you're right though.
Mm.
Actually, I could just space it out because, like, I mean, okay, so I don't know how deep we want to go in this
Mm.
podcast, right? On like the pockets. I mean, I also don't mind sharing how much I'm putting into each. But like for example, I'm investing what, like, I think 500 per month,
Mm.
and
That's
I
that's
could
that's not bad. That's
I'm
not
putting it
bad.
as top priority. It's one of my biggest expense each month.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Amazing. Okay.
What I can do is I could space it out like between 2 weeks, right? I mean, I could buy it like every 2 weeks instead of, like, just once a month. Technically, I could just split it into 250, like in the beginning of
You
the month,
can.
end of the
You
month,
can.
right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and maybe
But
that's
I think the maximum I read it somewhere on like dollar cost averaging. I think maximum 2 weeks is good enough. I think after that it kind of loses its purpose. So I think 2 weeks is still okay, but there's
too.
no point going lower than that, like 1 week and all that. I thought of that before, but I'm gonna search that article out and I'll love to share with you or even like put it down. So funny, suddenly we went deep into personal finance. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll maybe
Really.
put it down onto that podcast as well. Yeah. I think it is something very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Super interesting. Can go forever
Yeah.
on this topic.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, but let's get out of this. Let's continue. I think
Well,
amazing. uh, even though you're not doing financially well right now, but you're prepared. I mean, yeah, you're prepared to do well because of how you're structured it.
I
Yeah,
still bought
I
the
think I think you're struggling, but in fact you actually have the money. Just that it might be in the stock market or something else. It's like allocated differently.
yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
so
right. Yeah,
yeah, I think another thing I want to point out as well is before I start investing in stocks, I made sure that I have enough emergency fund in case any shit
amazing.
happens.
True.
So I have
That's a good call. That's a good call. I forgot
yeah,
to. Yeah, it's important to tell everyone this actually. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm.
I have and how I make it easier is also like I use Revolut for the pockets thingy, but also to not tempt myself, I now have a German bank account, which I don't have, like it's not as easily accessible. I try to make it more easily accessible. So
I
that's where
believe that's already usually a pain, and then you turn that pain into a beauty itself.
so yeah, so that's then where I put like my emergency fund. So I always have
Mm.
like yeah. So yeah, that I think that's priority before like yeah, like investing, right? Like always make
Mm.
sure that your money that you put to invest is money that like you can use like outside of in case something bad happens because yeah definitely don't want to put yourself in a position where like it's not easily accessible so
Yes.
yeah um yeah
Do you mind sharing how I'm not sure if you mentioned that, like how long of emergency fund have you saved?
ooh that's a good question ooh. Yeah, so I've had a couple of emergencies. So that's actually a really good question because now I need to like reevaluate how much I actually have left.
I see.
Because yeah, I
Okay.
had to use it a couple of times, but probably like actually not 6 months, like probably 3 months.
Mm. But I mean, you did use it, so initially you had more. Just that now you need to top it up.
Initially,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
Good call though. Yeah, 6 months is an amazing amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is actually
Mm.
a really good, yeah, a good question because now I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to that 6 month count.
Okay. Amazing.
So,
Amazing.
yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing so much about your finance. I think you are the one that shared the most on like your personal finances, that which I'm really thankful for that. Yeah. But let's move on. Um yeah. Now let's head into a bit of a dark side. I think what's your recent biggest struggle?
Ah, it has to be moving. So for
Mm.
context, also the reason why I like yeah, I have the internet issue before going to this podcast is because I just moved. And yeah, and I have to move again by the end of the month. So I think by the time this podcast is out officially, I will
You'll be at the new place.
I'll be in another I'll be in another room, but at least it's the same building. So that's how I've
Oh,
managed.
okay. That's a lot better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot better. I still have to pack up my stuff, but yeah, it could be worse, right? Moving is a lot for the same reasons that I shared in the beginning. That like here, when you're abroad alone, you have to yeah figure things out. Also, getting a moving truck isn't that affordable. And yeah, and then when you want to get help from friends as well, you got to make sure that they're available. You got to let them know in advance and things like that, right? There's just a lot of planning and coordinating that comes with it. Not to mention what I hate about it the most is the packing part. So even though I'm a huge traveler, I hate packing. Every time I pack, I hate it. Like how I made my life a bit easier is that I have a Notion template for all my short trips. I literally have a
Oh.
packing list.
Oh, really?
And then it
Oh,
just
can you share that with me? I would love to have a look. I'm very curious how you do that. I would love to optimize that part of my life. Oh my God.
So,
Oh
'cause
my God.
I hate packing so much. I hate having to think about, okay, what do I need to bring and la la la. So yeah, I just now all like I do is I duplicate that template and then I see through it like, okay, I'm going to this place, what could be different and yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I can share with you.
I'm so impressed by that. I think that would change my life for the better. Yeah, Yeah, I think that would really change my life. I would really love to look into that.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's another travel tip, I guess. Yeah, having these templates.
I see.
So yeah, I hate packing, and then I'm also not a big fan of housework at all, like anything related to just like cooking, cleaning, gardening. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I travel, okay? I leave the house. I don't like being in the house. Um, so just like the pre-work that you have to put into that before you move, right? All of the packing, all of the making sure things are clean and whatever. And then yeah, making sure you have everything and then moving to a new place, unpacking and just, familiarizing yourself with the location, the neighborhood, where do you get stuff, the route to work, all of that takes time, right? It's so different. And then, where the dude, even just now, like so before this, I was trying to figure out the Ethernet cable. I didn't know it was work. Then I didn't know if there was a router. I was like, okay, where's the
I
router?
see.
So
Okay.
just all of that, right? It's a hassle. It's a pain. You have to be very adaptable to move. And yeah, I guess that builds my resilience.
I guess like it's quite scary hearing you saying all that. You're basically giving me a preview that's what's about to come for me in
Mm,
in the next month.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you moved to the UK like when did you move?
Yeah, I'm a long time ago, but that was as a student. That was 3 years ago. Then a year later, I moved to my current accoms.
Hmm.
And that time, there's obviously a lot less stuff, which, yeah, once I knew I'm going to move to London, I told myself, because I'm a fan of board games, and then board games
Hmm.
come in huge boxes and all that, obviously.
Oh
I
damn.
had to tell myself, nope, stop buying that. Stop buying that. And recently, many of my friends are leaving, unfortunately. Same problem, they couldn't find a job and all that. And so, yeah, then some of them are packing, and then they suddenly reminded me. I was like, yeah, I don't have much time left. I need to start thinking about packing. So I started throwing away a lot of stuff. Actually, what I realized is I'm quite happy about the amount of stuff I had. Once I started throwing things, I was like, actually quite few things. And then I'm trying to going towards minimal like
No,
trying to be a minimalist. Yeah.
go.
If you can have a look at, I think if you compare it to like my previous videos, okay. Wait, how can I screen like
Wait,
make
you
this
mean it's
bigger?
recent?
Like yeah, the risk like no, if you compare it to my previous episodes, the bookshelf here has been minimized.
Really? Dang.
Cause
Oh
yeah, I funny thing, I was gonna donate all my books, most of them, except this few, because like they really have a lot of value, like uh memorable like it's very memorable for me. Like these books, they follow me through a lot of journey. But other than that, I was gonna donate them, but I hate to just bring two big recycle bag and then head to a store. And I found this amazing app called We Buy Books. I'm not sure if it's usable in Germany. And then they actually buy your books, and then they come for collection.
no.
So I don't care about the money actually.
Okay.
But since they come to
Let's
collect it,
go.
yeah, they come to collect it. So I was like, let's do that, man. Yeah.
Dude.
So, and another reason why I think I forgot since when. I think I was, yeah, because I was traveling.
Mhm.
I didn't want to bring a book. It's heavy. So I started reading ebooks on my phone.
Mhm.
I do have an ebook reader, but it's just quite a hassle to copy books. That's why I just read it on my phone. And then I bought a tablet recently. One of the reasons, because I was
Oh,
gonna read books.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I decided in future I'm just gonna do ebooks. I think it's so much more convenient because of taking notes, highlighting stuff, saving pages. Like even just using like Google's default book app, you can save the notes directly onto Google Drive and all that. So it's like so way more convenient. I was like, I'm gonna live a minimalist life from
Yeah,
now on.
it's more accessible. I love that. Dude, we can be accountability buddies on this. Talk about weekly goals. Because bro, like, same thing. When I
Hmm?
moved here, then I took it as an opportunity to like remove the things I don't need and I don't use,
Mm,
right?
mm.
I really like all my books. And a lot of them I
Me
haven't read.
too.
Yeah, it's so hard
Me
when
too. Some of them, but I was like, it's been there for so long and I've never read it. And then I have my reading list. It's unlikely that I'll read it any sooner as well. Might as well just say bye bye to it. I'll just continue with my reading list.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's actually a good call out because I mean, yeah, reading on that and it makes the note taking, right? It's
It
like way easier and more accessible. Like all my notes are digitalized anyway.
I find it a lot easier as well because of how it just says it tells you like how many pages until the chapter ends or like how much percentage you're into the book itself. And because it's optimized to your screen, like when we read books, the pages are different. That's why the amount of text on it is different. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know, for me previously I set a mental number of like 10 pages. So different books, 10 pages means differently. Some have less words, some have more words. But on the tablet it's unified. Because like
Yeah.
if you use EPUB and all that, it's like unified. So it
Yeah.
makes it a lot better actually. I was like, oh, this is so better.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you use Kindle, you can adjust the font. Okay, but anyway.
Oh, I mean, like if you adjust the font, it at least it keeps the same though. The font should like I think I'm not sure. I assume it will follow through for like different books. I don't think it's applied, or I think there's a master setting to set the font. I believe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have to wait because all this time I always think like I need to wait to buy a Kindle for me to read books
Mm-hmm.
digitally. But
Oh,
yeah.
actually, I think yeah, like tablet. I feel like I haven't used a Kindle. My ebook reader is not a Kindle, so Kindle might be easier. But I just find that yeah, tablet is way easier.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the note taking and highlighting, like, like okay,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
making me
Yes.
think yeah, I'm on to something now. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think we carried ourselves a bit too away from your moving part back to your moving struggle.
Back to
I think we're
where
talking about packing and all that. Yes.
yeah, packing and all that. But also, dude, also tip because you're moving soon.
Mm.
I know you're not the only one listening to this, but I think this is a really good, at least what I found really helpful for me during like moving and packing. It was so stressful, right? Because another layer that made it extra stressful is because I have to strategize like how much like which are the stuffs I want to put into my room now versus later that I want to keep in the basement for me to move like when I'm actually moving. Because there are some stuffs I obviously don't need now, right? For the first month. Like my initial plan was actually just to live out of a suitcase. And
Did that
like
work?
no, because I have too much stuff. But yeah, but how? Like I made it at least, like because it was all in my head, and I was like, oh, this is so much to think about. All of the stuffs that I've had for accumulated for the past year, and so, right? I started asking ChatGPT, and like I just ask it to, hey, and okay, get this. So I first read through, like, watched some moving tips, okay, and then I took notes from like watching the moving tips, and then I feed it off to ChatGPT and I say, "Hi, can you give me like some okay, so this is what I did. I did two. Like first, I did a couple of things actually. So at first I asked like, "Okay, can you help me strategize?" I gave it my context, right? That I'm going to move twice, so I need help to like what are the things I can pack now that I can just put into a box and put it in the basement, right? And like for ChatGPT to list it, like list all the items. I didn't tell them all of my items, obviously, but like just to give me an idea of like what are the things, right? And then I fed it. I gave it the moving tips, the notes that I took, right? And then I asked it to okay, like for me moving, like please give me a list of items that I need to shop for, like for me to enable my move, right? And it gave me a whole list of okay for my first packing, right? All of the things that I can just put in the basement later on. This, and then for now, like what are the essentials and the necessities to get me through the 1 month here? And he gave me that list as well. And then the last list is yeah all of the things that I need to buy. So like I didn't have like so many boxes, so I knew that I needed to get like the big ass like trash bags just to put stuffs in it. Yeah, so it gave me that, and then like yeah, like so then I have a shopping list, and it made it a lot less stressful, right? Because get this, I was
You
coming
basically
back.
have a plan, something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And it made my life easier because, like, so July was the craziest month ever for me. Like I told you, I was in 5 different countries that month. And I went to a Taylor Swift concert midweek. I was working. When, and then I was in Paris. And I came back from Paris 2 days before I had to move. So I didn't
Wow.
have much time. And on the weekends, I was basically traveling all the 4 weekends except one weekend. And I'm that I'm last minute. I don't like to pack like, early in advance.
I
So
mean that I believe that thing is what prompted you to have all these like amazing ideas to make things work.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be too stressful. I wouldn't be able to manage it, right? Like if
God.
I had to
Okay.
do it the regular way, this was just not gonna work. So I had to be
Mm.
smart about it. How do I be smart about it? I even asked ChatGPT to like I told him, okay, these are the dates I'm available, or like this is kind of like the context, right? And then, give me a schedule of when am I gonna be able to like yeah, just plan. Okay. Yeah. So I had to make it work, and like it became okay, like Tuesday on the evenings I'm going to pack. That's the only time I have to pack because in the weekends I couldn't. And yeah, and that's how I made it work. I came back from Paris 3 days before, and for the next 2 days I was working, and then on Saturday I had 3 hours in the morning and I moved and it worked.
Amazing. Congr- but yeah, just now like all these are amazing. I would yeah, thanks for sharing. You know what? Like just now when I was listening to all this, I just this idea just came into my mind.
Totally.
You should create your reels to just share about all these things. Like, of course, this is a bit. I think this moving thing is slightly hard to bring into your main like adventurous Nafi Instagram, which we'll talk about it later. Talk more about it later. But how like your Notion packing list and all that. That is something definitely you should put it in there as well. You should put it in that. That is so damn special. Like, yeah. I mean, well, definitely we're not sure whether it will go viral, but it's something that it's just you should put it there. You should just put it there. Yeah,
Hmm.
amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
that is so. I mean, that's so new. I've never heard of it. Yeah, yeah, and definitely put up a Notion template and then just share it to everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
like
yeah,
link
yeah,
in
yeah.
bio and like, people can just download and
Exactly,
duplicate it. I'm gonna do that. Got an
exactly.
action item.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, thanks for the idea, man. Cause like I don't know, like I never really like I use it because it helps me, but I never really thought I never like validated to anyone like until I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to you. Then I realized that actually like people like you find that helpful too. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a really great
Yeah.
idea. I'm definitely gonna packing tips. I can oh dude, one of my real like hooks could be here's how I here's how I
Here's how I
pack
pack the whole house within 2 days.
within 2 days
Exactly, exactly.
after coming back from Paris. Wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that will work. That would absolutely work.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's insane. Now
Yeah.
that I think about it, I can like there's a
Mm.
lot there could be a lot of like content ideas that came from my crazy month last month.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I don't even have
Yes.
to exaggerate things. It's already crazy.
Ex- I
Just
like I didn't know how crazy it was until you told me. I was like, wow, that would have that would have killed me honestly. That would have killed me. That this whole thing would have killed me honestly.
almost killed me. I was almost sick like I don't know 3 times, but I never got sick. I'm so lucky. I somehow
You
managed to
have
push through.
you have survived through it. I think you will never get sick like if that happens again to you.
Dude, but seriously, yeah, like I wouldn't do it again to be honest. That was just it's
You
some
never know. You never know.
oh come on.
But if you go through again, I believe you just find a new way to solve it.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what makes me innovative. I'm pushed.
Last minutes.
But yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Like, dude, the
Mm.
content edict could be like, here's how I traveled to 5 countries in 1 month and attend a Taylor Swift concert while while being at work while still working.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bro,
POV. Oh my god.
insane. But
But
yeah,
yes,
I survived.
but yeah, thanks for sharing your struggle, and I am very amazed by how you overcame it. That is very surprising. I never like legit it's so fresh. Like this thing is so fresh that I've never heard anywhere before. But thanks for that. Like I really love how you just utilize AI so well as well. I was like, wow.
When
Yeah.
when push comes to shove, you gotta you get creative.
Yes. Very, very creative.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like there's also, I mean, of course, like maybe some people might also be wondering like, aren't you concerned about, how much OpenAI knows about you and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like yeah, I mean, they basically know my calendar in July. And then
Mm.
like yeah, all the places that I visited and whatever, right? But especially with the moving thing, I have to say, like, it uplifted a lot of the stress. So I'm at a
Mm.
point, like, at least right now, my approach with AI is like, if it's giving me more convenience, if it's helping me solve my problem more now,
Mm.
I take it. Like, I would use the solution. Because, yeah, especially in times like this, like, I only had 3 days to move my whole belongings the past year to a new place. So, and plus the whole, organizing. Like I was like, look like basically reaching out to, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 friends. Not everyone was available. I ended up only getting like 2 friends who can help that day, right? One friend with a car, fortunately. Um, yeah, but all that, right? And yeah, I guess another tip for like the moving struggle. So with moving, honestly, just talk to anyone who you think might have the slightest remote chance of helping you.
Mm.
Like, ask for help. And like there's always a way that you can like somehow like pay the the
Payback.
yeah, pay back,
Like the
give
gratitude,
give back.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of the notion pay it forward, because obviously
Mm.
I like if they're Germans, like the two that helped me move, right? So like they probably don't have to move anytime soon. So I probably wouldn't be able to like, give them the same help, right? But I could treat them to a nice dinner. That's what we did after the move. And that's
Amazing.
like, even in a cost sense, it's so much better than, it's still cheaper than like, me having to get a moving truck, which would just be me alone and going through all the struggle, which sucks, right? But having a dinner with your friends, like it's a win-win. Like, everyone's happy, they get good food, and then you also build an additional bond and trust, right? Actually, seeking for help during times like this is probably the best way to like, like to forge a friendship, actually, because you get to know more about them, they get to know more about you, and then especially letting someone into your house, your place, and know your stuff, and so it's pretty intimate in that sense, right? So like, yeah, like I guess another learning from this movie is like, reach out for help, right? And yeah, it'll work out.
Amazing.
There's a lot of good people.
Amazing. Okay. That's really true. I really do agree with you. Yeah, with all this aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest,
Okay.
that's my highlight from the moving. The moving was so
Mm.
freaking stressful, except for the part where my 2 friends got to help me out. And I had such a great time with them. And also like, and spending time afterwards. It was so nice. Like, that was the only thing that made it bearable. Otherwise, I hated the moving. I hated it with a passion. But like, my friends made it better. That's yeah. So
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy. Like even though we started as a struggle, but it turned out well, and then you loved it. Yeah. But yeah, going on to the opposite. What's final question for this whole interview as well? What's the one thing you love about yourself?
okay. Actually, the first time like the first time I saw this question, I was like, ah, shit, that's such a hard question.
I like it. That'll just make me want to keep this question for everyone. Yeah.
But it's a really good one though because then it gets us reflecting and like it's such an important thing to know as well, right? Like,
Yes, it's
what
important to appreciate yourself, I think. Yeah, and that's
is that
yeah.
the reason why you like kept that? What where does this question come from actually? I'm curious.
Okay.
For a bit.
I mean, I actually have a huge question bank that came from when I started the podcast. I sorted them, but in fact, I haven't really used them. Like, I just, because like discussion points started, from like knowing more about you, and then like knowing how you deal with things regarding the topics, and struggle is just I think it's a core thing that I want to share with our audience, from all of my guests, on how they're dealing with it. And I just think, after talking about struggle, let's go back. We went through the hard part. Let's think back, look at ourselves, and let's share about something beautiful that you truly love about it yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Nice. Nice.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. So, okay, I think, and when I was looking at that question, I was like, oh shoot, what was my answer again? But yeah, no, I know, especially, actually, I think, going through this podcast and like, yeah, with all the questions that you asked me, I think, what am I, wait, what's the question again? Like, one thing I like about
One
myself?
thing you love about yourself.
One thing I love about myself is how adventurous I am in that sense, like how much I love exploring things and how open I am to new things and yeah, just yeah. Um yeah,
Amazing.
exploring new things, different things, like how I jump at that opportunity to, just like freaking use Gen AI like ChatGPT for something that like didn't really think before, but if I had the potential of saving my life in some sense, make it
Mm.
easier. Yeah, like why not? And jumping at opportunities to like travel, explore new places and just, kind of like challenge myself. Yeah, I mean, July was insanely challenging, but I know that like I'm gonna be able to get through that. So I think my love for exploration, that's something I love about myself. My love for personal development. So I think in a sense those two kind of have like kind of yeah, like there's like a like it's similar but different, but there's a I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. But you know that diagram, Venn, where there's like a middle point?
Okay, the cross section, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, like all I can think about is a diagram, Venn, but I couldn't. I'm like, what's the word for that? But yeah, like between love of exploration and personal development. So, um, yeah, and like the third thing I think what I love about myself is how much I believe in myself to get through things when things are hard. Like I have a pretty good like self-belief. Like
Mm.
things will get shitty. Like I mean, everyone goes through some shit, yeah. Like and I have a pretty and when it gets shitty, like of course I like I don't I also struggled with like negative self-thought. Like I think that's something that everyone struggles with, right? And definitely it's a bit hard to get out of there, but I know like I think of all the horrible shit I went through, like I know in my heart that I will get through it. And yeah, and I love that about me.
You
Like I
did.
never like I never I don't give up on myself. I think that's the yeah. And
That's
or I
beautiful.
don't entertain the thought that oh I'm gonna die, this is gonna ruin my life or whatever, but like sometimes there are those intrusive thoughts, but
Mm.
like there's that, like even though it's probably just like 1%, but I know that like it's there in the back of my mind, that self-belief that I'm gonna get through it no matter what kind of thing.
Okay,
So yeah,
I see.
I'm surprised
Amazing, amazing.
but yeah.
But it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Like, I mean, like yeah, it's that's not only one thing that you should love about yourself. Yeah, like there's so much that we should love about
There's so
ourselves. It's
yeah.
ourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
And I mean, I could get into
Mm.
like nitty-gritty things, right? I love how excited I get when I see new things, or like even just yesterday, I was cycling through this park, and
Mm,
it was so pretty. Oh, I just loved it. Like
that's amazing.
the way the light shines on something, and I just get excited over that. I like that about me. Like I think that's cool. Like I think that
That's great.
like the ability to be appreciative of something, it makes
Mm,
life more enjoyable and nicer and like more fun to live. So I have that. So I'm content with myself, you know? Like I don't need to look for happiness or joy outside.
whoa,
This is
whoa,
deep, but like I mean I think I'm still
that's
learning, but there's a part that I feel like I'm
mm,
pretty confident with that. So
yeah, yeah, but that's really good. Like if you being able to do that, I think it's something that many people are seeking to have that mental shift into like the mental model that you have. Like even I wish to be like that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a journey, right? I mean,
Mm.
I think today especially, and it depends on days sometimes. I can definitely say like now I can say that for like my
I
mental,
should yeah, go on, go on.
yeah, like I'm in a pretty good mental state today, but the past week I've actually been sleeping really bad. I've been sleeping at like 2 a.m. every night, and I was so stressed out. I had this one problem that was affecting me. But I got to work it out with my coach on Friday. And this is also
Mm,
another like maybe a pretty good tip. Always like I don't know, have a coach or a mentor that you can speak to about your problems.
mm,
Apart from just ChatGPT, but ChatGPT can be a really good coach, by the way. If you give the right prompts, it can be a really good coach. And Gia, like seriously, I've
mm,
seen how like there was this Forbes writer, bro,
mm,
and she's so cool. Like this entrepreneur, her name's Jodie Cook. Might
mm.
want to look into her. She writes this amazing prompts. Like, and she dives into anything, everything. So many cool prompts. I tried like one or two. There was one where she made ChatGPT become a coach for her business. Absolutely mind blowing. Seriously.
I see.
Um, yeah, like when you honestly prompting is such a key skill like these days. That's also something I want to work on. It when you're able to ask to, you know, clearly communicate what you expect from the bot.
Mm,
Like it can be a really powerful tool. I never thought of that until I read that article that you can actually make ChatGPT your freaking coach. You don't even have to hire because you know, especially for businesses, like the entrepreneur like ship coaches are so freaking expensive. I don't know if you know Eric Partaker, but they cost what like almost thousands per hour. Whew, that's freaking expensive. But if you can unlock this shit from Gen AI, from ChatGPT, do it. You know? Like, yeah. Okay, I don't know where I'm going here, but
I mean, it is good insight. So it is good insights, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just now, I was about to say because like you said that you had like negative states and all that, and I was like saying, I should cut like what you said previously into like a short reels that you just watch when you're in the negative mood and all that, just to remind yourself like this is what I said last time. Like, yeah, I should remind myself.
do it. Yes. That's a really cool idea. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, like up and down. Like some days, absolutely, it's harder to remind yourself that you have this self-belief. But today's a good day. I can share
Okay.
this, and I want to be inspiring, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
Definitely very inspiring. Yeah.
you read.
But yes, thank you. Thank you so much for the whole conversation that I've shared with you. So it's been almost 2 hours. This is the longest podcast ever. And but it's actually not just 2 hours. I have to thank you because we went through technical difficulties before that and all that. So like I think it's been like I don't know 5 hours, and I really thank you for coming onto this podcast. Thank you for sorting out all those technical issues. And yes,
Yeah,
I really thank you, and it's been really inspiring and being truly honest about sharing about your life. That's amazing.
absolutely. It's my
Yes,
absolute pleasure to be here. And yeah, thanks for also being in this journey with me and
yes,
helping me go through kind of like the difficult technical difficulties as well.
yeah,
Gosh, that was, yeah, that was something. But hey, talk about
mm,
resilience, right? So yeah, absolutely. It's my absolute pleasure. You've been a great host. like great questions. So yeah, it's always fun talking to you, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you as well. That's the greatest compliment I can get as a host. Yeah, but how so like when the audience would like to contact you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Wonderful. Thanks
Uh,
for asking this question. So, okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at Adventurous Nafi. So I am a huge travel.
I'll put the link down there, boop, and
Whoop.
then probably like right on the screen as well.
Yeah, thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, so as you know, I'm a huge traveler. I thought, okay, why not we share a little bit of like actually Andrew just gave me a really great content idea, right? I have this like travel template list, so I think by the time you're seeing this, you can already check that out on my link in bio. So yeah, check that out. I will share tips, places, just kind of like when I'm traveling, I also like to share stories, yeah, of my journey. So yeah, cool stuffs. Would love to, if you, yeah, would love to see your. Oh my God, I'm getting. I should have practiced this, but yeah, it would be
It's
amazing.
okay. It happens to me all the time as well.
Just, I don't know why I'm nervous now. I'm like, oh my God, is he into an audience about my trouble thingy? Because yeah, it's just like it's a project that's like my baby project that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I just kind of like I put a lot of expectation on me to make it perfect. And so battling that, but like I think I'm at a point where okay, I want to like be more serious about creating and also creating value for my audience, right? And creating a sense of community. So if you'd like to be part of that community, if you're a big travel person, you want to learn stuffs about or like just see aesthetic things of nice travel places, hit that follow button and yeah, I would love to see like hear what you think as well. And yeah, so that would be the best way to reach me. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Nafisa Atia. So I try to share
She's
more.
a LinkedIn top voice.
Ah, yeah. That's oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot about that, Lamo. But yeah, I try to share more like career related stuff over there. If some content resonates with you, yeah, like you can find me there. If you have some, I don't know, content ideas or maybe like you'd like to learn more about career stuff, how I got here and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be something I write about as well. So yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to connect and yeah, share advices or like just share it. Yeah, like happy to connect anytime. So
Amazing.
wonderful. So those are the best platforms to reach me, and yeah, thank you so much, Andrew, for this opportunity.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I believe like after sharing so much, I believe the audience will be very interested to follow your journey and know more about you and all that. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. But yeah, now finally we have reached the end of the podcast. If anyone has actually listened till here, I'm truly grateful. Like I'm more than thank you. Like
you.
first thanks everyone for listening and watching. But those that watch all the way till here, extra thanks. Please drop a comment of your handle, like social media handle. I'd love to contact you, thank you personally, have a conversation with you. But yeah, if you like this, do give it a like, drop me a review rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give it 5 star if possible. I would really appreciate it. But yes, other than that, I'll see you guys again next week. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Andrew.
Remember to subscribe to get notified as new episodes comes out weekly, and please share the link of this podcast to anyone you think would enjoy it. This is Andrew Kwan from the Journey at Zero Zeros podcast.